It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
If you think I'm a pussy, I'm a punk, you tell me right now. Because listen, I am the baddest man you ever fucking meet.
So they'll get a bit of energy.
Yeah.
It's good night. It is all over in the 11th round.
What up, team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. Hope y'all are doing well. So, I've seen around YouTube, there's a lot of people giving their opinions about Tyson Fury moving on to another fight, skipping out of the Deontay Wilder rubber match. And I just wanted to give my take on a few things. So, just give me a minute here, get a few sound checks and shit going. Make sure everything is tickety boo. Still playing around with a few mic settings and stuff for my channel. So, doing a sound check. Just a moment here.
With the best range of
Well, I add first. So, to start with, I've put a article in the description. It's from Boxing Scene, quotes from Bob Arum, talking about how the rematch clause, the immediate rematch clause time period has expired. Wilder's team chose a short expiry time because they thought they were going to win and they wanted to get the third match out of the way, so on and so forth. Apparently Fury had agreed to an extension due to Wilder's injury. He had a bicep surgery in October. If there was an extension agreed to, for me, it should have been in writing. If Wilder's team just took it as a verbal agreement from Team Fury, then they are stupid in my eyes. But for me, none of this actually matters, man. Not one little bit of it. Why, you ask? Because it's also been made public that neither Fox nor ESPN wanted to put the fight on this year. There was a mention of Bob Arum possibly being able to get an earlier date for ESPN, but as it is, Wilder has been trying to negotiate to get a fight next year, early year anyway. So, man, MMA champ, good to have you in, man. Good to have you in. Yo. But yeah, if the fight can't happen this year in the States, whether the rematch clause time frame has expired or not doesn't mean shit. If the fight can't happen, the fight can't happen anyway. And I don't see the harm in Tyson Fury going and fighting somebody else in the meantime. If he can't fight Wilder, why does he have to sit on his hands and do nothing? Why? Can somebody answer me this? And also, if Fury does go off and fight, say, Edge Cabial, Oscar Rivas, for fuck's sake, please don't be Lucas Brown. That's just stupid, mentioning Lucas Brown. But, for me, there's no reason why Fury can't fight Wilder in February anyway. Because the way I see it, Joshua doesn't want to vacate a belt, and the only way he can fight Fury early next year is if he vacates the WBO belt. After he beats the shit out of Pulev, Usyk's chomping at the bit to get his shot. And he ain't stepping aside like he said. So, the only way Fury and Joshua can fight early next year is if Usyk vacates. Now, does Joshua really want to fight Fury if it ain't for that fourth belt? I don't think so. So the door's wide open for the third match to happen next year anyway. Now this is how I see it. Unrivaled boxing talk and news in the house. Good to have you in, brother. Good to have you in. Now I'm gonna drop a link in the live chat. If anybody wants to jump on, quite welcome to come and give me your 2 cents on it. I mean, I've listened to a lot of videos around YouTube about everybody else's 2 cents. So, give me a sec here. There's the Discord link in the chat. If anybody wants to jump on, you're quite welcome to. I better go and jump into there myself. I'll pin that to the top first. So anybody who might like to join can do so. But yeah, I better go and jump into that chat myself. Just in case somebody wants to come and give me my 2 cents. Give me their 2 cents. Oh dear. Well, it says I'm in there, but I don't know if I can hear anything. I didn't hear a ding. Oh dear. Is my mic's working? Oh dear. I might have to change a setting in Discord. La-di-da-di. Look for a setting. Give me a sec here, yo. Alright, video and audio setting, I think. I thought I had all of this sorted out. But it doesn't look like I did. Discord, where are we? Name activity, keywords, blah blah blah. Voice and video. Let's check. The mic is working. That's good. And I can hear. So I don't know why it didn't go ding when I got into the chat is all. Hopefully. If anyone jumps on and I don't acknowledge you, let me know in the live chat, because I might not be able to hear you. I might have to suss that out if it's not working. But I'll get back to the chat, y'all. Phil Carl Roberts in the house. Sup, brother? So yeah, my evaluation of the situation is I don't think it matters whether the rematch time frame has expired or not, because if it's not going to happen on US soil, it's just not going to happen. Wilder ain't going to go to the UK, and there's no guarantee that any promoter, mainly Frank Warren, could afford to put that fight on anyway, because those guys would be expecting at least, 15 million at minimum each to fight that fight. Or at least Tyson will be wanting that much. Whereas if he fights somebody like an Ajit Kabayel, he'd be fighting for probably under 10. I hope it's Ajit Kabayel that he does fight. And maybe down the track, maybe February, March next year, Wilder Fury could happen. But realistically, with the states having tens of thousands of new coronavirus cases daily, even if a vaccine does come out by the end of October, there's still going to be a problem with it, and there's probably still not going to be allowed to be crowds. Therefore, the promoters won't be able to afford to pay the fighters anyway. So, what's the big fuss about? Tyson just wants to have a fight before the end of the year, and if Wilder doesn't want to fight him on UK soil, if that's a possibility, or if no network wants to put on the fight, there's no fight for them. End of story. So who gives a goddamn shit whether the rematch clause has expired or not? And this article that I've put in the description, was quotes from Bob Arum. It's Bob Arum. Some days he lies, some days he tells the truth. So you can't trust what the man says anyway. I just don't get what them huge fuss is about. If Wilder Fury can't happen because of networks not wanting to put it on, then there's no fight. So why can't Fury go and fight someone else? Why can't Wilder go and have a tune-up in the meantime? It'll do him good. Oh, Carl Roberts. I thought that Fury could not fight in the UK anyway. Well, at present, apparently he doesn't have a license. But the debacle with the British border boxing control that he had, that's over and done with. He served his time. He had 2 years suspended sentence, right? All he's got to do is apply for a license in the UK. And he's away. So there's no reason I can see why he wouldn't be given a license. But yeah, what do you reckon? Is there some kind of reason why you think he wouldn't get a license there, Phil? But yeah, like I said, that article from Bob Arum says a lot of stuff in there. What does he say? That it expired on October 13th or some shit. But in the past, you know, Fury had said that his team agreed to extend, well, not necessarily the rematch, to put the fight back until December because of coronavirus, because there can't be any crowds. And like I said, I think it's still going to be the same issue come January, February anyway. So I don't know what this, you know, people saying Fury's ducked the fight. Ducked what fight? What fight? There is no fight! There is no fight to duck! Because no network will put it on. No network can afford it. Everybody's losing money right now when it comes to promoters and networks, right? So what has he ducked? What has he run away from? He's run away from something that does not exist. So, I hope it's Edgic Cabial that he fights. At least the dude can box and move a bit. I think Oscar Rivas is too small to face a 6'9" heavyweight. I mean, he looked like a midget against Dillian White. He did not too bad being able to knock Dillian down in that fight. And he finished off Brian Jennings as well, but he's a little bit smaller. He's 6'3". But most of that fight against Dillian was using the reach and he didn't have much of a chance. At least Edgic Cabial's 6'4". He can move a bit. I still don't think it'll be extremely competitive because, you know, two boxers isn't going to be great to watch unless Tyson decides to put his Kronk style on and try and walk down and monster Edgic Cabial. But yeah, I really don't hope it's not going to be Oscar Rivas because I think Tyson would box against Rivas. He knows he can bang, and why take the chance in close against the man that short when you've got a substantial height and reach advantage over him? I think Cabial is too small as well. 6'2", I think. No, he's 6'4", isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's 6'4". I'll look it up. Give me a sec here. Edgic Cabial, box rec. He hasn't been in the ring for a long time though. That's another thing with Edgic Cabial. 20-0. Oh, 6'3" they've got him listed at. 191 centimeters. No reach. So he's about the same height as Bryant Jennings, but Bryant Jennings has got a massive reach for his size. It's unfortunate they don't have a listed reach for Cabial. But out of the choices, because there was only, correct me if I'm wrong, there was only Lucas Brown, Edget Cabial, and Oscar Rivas that they were looking at. I see Otto Wallens piped up in the media saying he thinks he deserves a rematch. I'm ready for you now. So we'll see what happens there, but December 5th is supposed to be the date, man. In the UK, yeah. Rivas would still be Fury's second best opponent in 5 years. I'd disagree with that. I'd think that Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder are both better than Oscar Rivas. That's just my opinion. No, everybody's entitled to their own. Fury only fought one decent fighter, Wilder, since Klitschko fight. Well, what's wrong with Otto Wallen? He seemed pretty decent on the night to me. Just because you didn't know him doesn't mean he's not decent. Hey. But I'm not going to argue that Otto Wallen is top 5 or any stupid shit like that. For real, Otto Wallen would be lucky to be around top 20. Just based on resume, because he hasn't fought anybody besides Tyson Fury, but that doesn't mean he can't fight, and we figured that out in that fight against Tyson Fury. Wallen put up a good fight for a few rounds. Yeah, he did. Got a bit dirty when he tried to rub his glove in the cut. I thought that was pretty fucking shady. Should have got a point taken off for that. Cabial did fight in July, or did he? I think against... Yeah, you might be right, actually. I mean, I've got the bloody box rec up here. Yeah, he did fight that guy in... yeah, in July. 18th of July. That guy, I'm not going to try and pronounce that name, is 16-2. I have a quick look at his resume, but I'm pretty much guaranteed there's nobody on there. A lot of Germans, probably. Oh, and that... Hey. He's fighting Jürgen Bremer. Oh no, what's his name? Jürgen... I'm not going to try and butcher these Germans' name. That guy is fighting another guy on the 16th of the 10th. Shit, is that this weekend? It is. That guy's fighting another guy who's 17-6, and that fight's going to be in Germany this weekend. Actually, I remember seeing that on the schedule. There is a German card with a lot of heavyweights on it this weekend. Not many that you'd recognise. I think Sinad Gashi's on there, and Christian Thunder's on it as well. Edget Cabial. Yeah, I'm just looking through this guy's record, and there's not any names I recognise, and all the fights are in Germany. So there you go. It was just a tune-up for Cabial, but thank you for pointing that out. He has fought this year. That's a good thing. So he shouldn't have too much ring rust if he does get in there with Tyson, but realistically, I don't think he has much of a chance against Tyson, particularly if he brings that Kronk style to him. But at the same time, Cabial seems to deal with pressure okay. Look how he dealt with Derek Chisora, man. So, I don't know. I'd watch it, but I wouldn't be paying for it. That's for goddamn sure. You got 10 rounds in, yeah. Yeah, I don't think Cabiel's a huge puncher or anything like that, but he's a pretty decent boxer. You know, the guys that Tyson is talking about, I'd actually prefer to see Oscar Rivas and Edge Cabiel get it on. That'd be a decent fight, but I don't know. I did see an article earlier about the potential opponents for Tyson. There'll be everybody putting their hands up for a Fury payday at the moment. It's not going to be a huge payday, but they want to get in there. You know, I think Otto Wallen got put on the map because he got in there against Tyson Fury, and his stock went up considerably just based on a performance when he lost. So, doesn't matter who it's going to be, really. It's not going to be somebody inside a top 10, but if Fury wants to hang on to his WBC belt or have the fight at least sanctioned by the WBC, he's going to have to fight somebody within the top. Oh, actually, WBC rules are different to the others. A voluntary in the WBC has to be inside the top 10, not the top 15. So, Hrgovic at 15, Tom Schwartz at 14. Oh no, that's the WBO. My bad, sorry. WBC, Edge Cabiel's at 15. So, you know how it happens? If the champion in the WBC wants to fight somebody that's just outside the top 10, they generally get moved inside the top 10. We've seen it happen multiple times. Chris Arreola was one of them. Gerald Washington was one of them. I can't think any more off the top of my head, and I don't want to sit here going, but it's happened several times. Flip it over and have a quick look in here. Yeah, I'm still in the chat by myself. Okay, just making sure there's no one there that I can't hear. Alright, so we've got Afro Jugba at 14. He won't want that fight yet. He's said multiple times that he's at least a couple of years away from a title shot. Charles Martin at number 13. I don't think that's going to happen either, because it's likely he's trying to chase the IBF route, since he's ranked number 2 in the IBF and he's already fought one eliminator. So that's a no-go. Number 12 is Derek Chisora. He's fighting Usyk. Joe Joyce at number 11. He's fighting Daniel Dubois. Michael Hunter at number 10. That would be a legit fight. I would like to see that. And Michael Hunter, I think at present, doesn't have any promotional ties since Eddie Hearn dropped him like a cold sack of potatoes. I'd prefer that than watching Edge Cabiel. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Blow that shit out of there. Springtime here, got a bit of hay fever. Philip Hrgovic at 9. I'm sure he'd want the fight, but he's co-promoted by Eddie Hearn. I don't see that happening. And Oscar Rivas at 8. Well, he's got the ranking, so I guess it is what it is. He's a shit. Who promotes him? Is Oscar Rivas? No, he's not with Top Rank, is he? Yvonne Michelle. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But they're speaking of him, so they're obviously in talks. Daniel Dubois at 7. He's busy. Joe Parker. He's busy at 6. Dillian White at 5. He's busy. Andy Ruiz at 4. Is he busy? He's supposed to be fighting Chris Arreola, isn't he? So he's going to be busy. Luis Ortiz is busy. Alexander Usyk is sitting waiting. I know he's busy with Chisora as well and Deontay Wilder at 1. So really, there isn't a lot to choose from. For me, there's only 3 realistic choices within the rankings, being Ajit Cabial, Michael Hunter, and Oscar Rivas. I would like to see the Michael Hunter fight most out of that, actually. But I don't know if they've been mentioning his name. So, hey. Back to the check. I don't think Ortiz deserves another title shot. No, I agree, man. He needs to fight some people inside the top 15 of whatever body he wants to chase now. Because losing to the champion at the time, who has been dethroned, who got absolutely flattened, don't mean shit. Beating Christian Hammer to a decision win don't mean shit. He is fighting somebody. I've forgotten off the top of my head because I'm old and I drink too much. Probably smoke too much. So give me a sec here. Also days on the box rec. It's not confirmed on there, whoever it was. That pissed me off. Somebody in the chat, refresh my memory. Who's Luis Ortiz fighting? Hunter would be the best fight in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with you there, Phil. I agree. You're talking about the great King Kong. Well, kinda. Just saying he doesn't deserve a shot coming off his second loss, second knockout loss to the champion who's just been absolutely flattened. So, you know, Ortiz needs to prove himself against somebody. Let's have a look back at the rankings. Who have we got? These. I think his best ranking is with the WBC. Top of my head. Yeah. This will tease at number 3 with the WBC. But everybody's busy in there. Shit, Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin or Andy Ruiz wouldn't be bad. But Andy Ruiz is busy. Charles Martin's likely to be chasing the IBF route. Let's see. Has Ortiz got an IBF ranking? I don't think so. Caviar did for a Yoker at 11. Ioane Farr Jr. Huh. He's got an IBF ranking as well. I didn't know that. That's Junior Farr, by the way. His real name is Ioane. Dempsey McKean at 13. Otto Wallen at 14. So, Jili Zhang at 15. No ranking with the IBF for Luis Ortiz. What do we got with the WBA? Anything? They haven't reinstated him in the WBA rankings since he got suspended. So nothing in his own. Looks like unless there's something in the WBO. Just having a quick look through. No, man. The only ranking Luis Ortiz has is with the WBC. So either he's not paying sanctioning fees for other bodies, or the WBC is the only one who thinks losing by knockout to the WBC champion who got flattened means something. But you know, I wouldn't mind seeing Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. That's not too bad a fight. Two southpaws. Shit, even somebody like a Jili Zhang or a Trevor Bryan, or... Oh no, shit, look. Luis Ortiz does have a WBA ranking. Number 3 with the WBA. So... And Charles Martin is number 6. There you go, Charles Martin. That could possibly be a final eliminator, because Trevor Bryan at number 1 is the interim champion. Oh shit, there you go. Why doesn't Luis Ortiz fight Trevor Bryan? He can get himself an interim title just like that. I was gonna say Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz could be a final eliminator for the next mandatory position, but Trevor Bryan, being the interim champion, is also the mandatory for the WBA. Now, whether he's actually mandatory for the super champion or whether he's mandatory for Manuel Char's fake regular title is unclear. They've got so many freaking belts, the WBA, that a mandatory could be mandatory to anyone. Shit, it could be mandatory to Robert Helenius with the gold title as well. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, Trevor Bryan, since your bullshit fight with Christopher Lovejoy fell through because the WBA wouldn't sanction it after Christopher Lovejoy went through all the trouble of paying money to get himself a WBA ranking. They turned around and said, no, you can't fight the champion. We're not going to sanction that, being Trevor Bryan. Trevor Bryan could go and fight Luis Ortiz. And Trevor Bryan could get him, Luis Ortiz could possibly get himself another title shot at a different belt. At the Anthony Joshua fight that he wanted so bad, apparently. So bad that he ditched his position to go and fight Deontay Wilder. Too much at stake with the AJ fight around the corner. But for Trevor Bryan, I don't know. It's unclear whether the mandatory or the interim champion is actually mandatory for the super champion or for the regular champion. So, man, if Fury fights Lucas Brown, then he should be stripped of his WBC title. Straight up. What's he want to fight that clown for? Brown the clown is a has-been. He's washed up. He's done. And he ain't got a ranking with the WBC. And with the bums he's fighting, he ain't gonna get one either. He ain't gonna get a ranking as Lucas Brown. Yeah, money does play a big part, and it's unfortunate. With too much in play with what's going on with Anthony Joshua. I agree, man, big time. Maybe Wilder will want time up as well, so he will need to fight someone like Kaunecki. Well, that's probably the next fight that I think will happen for him. Kaunecki is the highest ranking PBC fighter, isn't he? Unless he can get Robert Helenius, which I think is a possibility because he seems to be fighting. He's fought on quite a few PBC cards, and that would give Deontay Wilder at least a fake belt for now, and maybe some credibility with people who don't know what they're fucking looking at. You know, he can still walk around saying, I'm a world champion, even though it doesn't mean shit. But you never know, man. If he doesn't chin Helenius could fucking chin him too, because he hits like a boss. He does. He hits hard. He always has. Just hasn't got the best defensive skills, and he hasn't got a good chin. So I don't know, man. Kaunaki v Wilder. I think that's an easy fight for Wilder, to be honest. Yeah, Kaunaki comes forward and throws lots of punches, but he's very defensively inadequate, as we saw with Helenius. And I think Wilder hits a hell of a lot harder than Helenius. Yeah, Fury's size and defensive skill. That's going to play a part along with pretty much anybody he fights. You know, and he can turn on different styles too. He can be defensive in box, or he can come forward and try and beat you down like he did against Wilder. So he's got lots of strings to his bow. Give Wilder the LDBC belt. I like that. I like that. Yeah, maybe the LDBC could put their super chats toward making their own sanctioning body. Yeah, Helenius definitely does have a good punch. We've seen it in the past, but we've seen also if it goes past 6 or 7 rounds, it quite often capitulates. He doesn't have good stamina, and if somebody goes to the body a lot, then his stamina is gonna quit quickly. But you don't see Wilder going to the body a lot, so I think it'll be an interesting fight and not a bad comeback tune-up for Wilder. But maybe Wilder needs somebody who he could blow out a lot easier, to get his confidence back up. But at the same time, maybe he would be better off fighting somebody who's very durable, to give him some actual fight time to work on some possible style changes that he's been working on. And I think that's another reason why he needed a bit more time, or wanted a bit more time to fight Fury. Let me have a look back at the rankings again. Let's see. WBC. Oh, he could fight Charles Martin, another PBC fighter, eh? There's no reason why he couldn't fight Charles Martin. I mean, Charles Martin isn't. How do I put this? He seems really back committed to the sport. Nothing like the man who stepped in the ring with Anthony Joshua, or 6 months after he got sparked by Joshua. So he seems fairly durable these days, does Charles Martin. He's a southpaw, 6'5", so he's got some decent size, he's got some decent reach. Why not, man? I could handle Wilder versus Martin, and I think he's probably a little bit easier fight. Well, maybe not. Martin v Helenius is a fight I've wanted to see for a final eliminator for the IBF, but it doesn't seem to be happening lately. I haven't seen too much talk about it anyway. LDBC belt, yeah. Pretty funny, man. That was a good one. Well done. Oh, it's a pity Huey Fury isn't in the WBC rankings. You see what Wilder would do with Fury. Could he hit him? I don't know, man. How many real movers has Deontay Wilder fought? One being Tyson Fury. I think that causes a lot of problems for him. Shit, Huey Fury could become mandatory for Tyson Fury. Wouldn't that be a laugh? Because they won't fight. Alright, man. Gonna have a quick look. Still nobody in that chat on Discord. No, nobody there. And I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to hear them either. Look out of it and dip back in and see what it does. Just for a tick. Supposed to go get her. I don't know. I have to sort that out on Discord. Something going on there. Go back to Hangouts. Maybe I'll just use StreamYard next time. But what else we've got here? Wilder does not have to pick anyone in the WBC rankings. No, he doesn't. Not at all. Not at all. But I think for his public reputation, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to fight somebody whose people at least know somewhat, and not Chris Arreola, for God's sake, not again. I doubt Fury will fight anyone decent, so be a tomato can again is to stay busy. Yeah, well, it's possible, but like I say, if he wants to hang on to that WBC belt, he simply has to fight somebody inside the top 10 of the WBC rankings. That's their rules. If he fights somebody outside of the top 10, then he's gonna get stripped. Now I do know that Tyson doesn't really seem to give a shit about the WBC belt. He's started talking about Deontay Wilder doesn't want to fight the lineal champion. Notice he doesn't say he wants to get his WBC belt back. Now I don't think that's a very smart move on Tyson Fury's part, because if he wants that Anthony Joshua undisputed fight down the track, he's going to have to hang on to that belt. AJ might not want the fight if he doesn't have the belt, because that belt is AJ's goal. It's not Tyson Fury, the lineal champion, he wants to fight. He wants to fight the WBC champion because he wants to be the first 4-belt heavyweight undisputed champion in history. So Tyson's just got to be a little bit careful in what he does here. Unless he's happy to vacate the belt, do what he wants to do, then fight whoever gets the belt, which will be, currently is Alexander Povetkin, the interim champion. He will be gifted the belt without having to fight for it, and take on Alexander Povetkin, or if Dillian White gets it back, get the WBC belt back, because like I say, I'm pretty sure Joshua ain't gonna want that fight if it ain't for undisputed. It's a risk he's willing to take to become undisputed heavyweight champion. I don't know if it's a risk he wants to take to become just the unified lineal heavyweight champion. WBC can be bought off pretty easily. Well, it seemed that way when Wilder was champion. I don't know how it's going to be when it comes to Fury. If he's advertising that he's just the lineal heavyweight champion and not giving the WBC any shine, it might not go down too well with Mauricio Solomon in the board. Oh man, at the moment, for me, both the WBA and the WBC are jokes. The WBA with all their bullshit belts, and the WBC with their franchise fake champion that is not a championship, it is a designation. Then why is it called the franchise champion if it ain't a championship, Mauricio, idiot? Trying to sell fake shit. That's what it is. Really, it's I don't want to fight my fucking mandatories belt. That's all it is. What up, Bill Billy? Good to have you in, man. Hope everyone's doing well. Fine with no trilogy. Yeah, well, shit. I'm not actually that worried that it's not happening now. And like I said at the start of the stream, if Fury and Wilder really want to fight, they can still do it early next year because Joshua's going to be busy with Usyk. Unless he wants to vacate a belt, and we all know that ain't what he wants to do. I think they can buy Usyk off, get him to wait, but I think they're going to find out the hard way. Usyk ain't waiting. You can't buy that dude. You just cannot buy that dude. He wants his chance to be heavyweight champion as well as undisputed cruiserweight. I mean, he's already beaten Evander Holyfield's record in getting to undisputed as a cruiserweight. If he can get to heavyweight champion in a smaller amount of time than Evander Holyfield in an era of giants compared to when Evander was fighting, then shit. He will definitely be a Hall of Famer when he retires, won't he? Definitely. Jumping back to Discord, just keep checking in case someone gets in there and I haven't got it sorted. Good. Oh, I'm not in the chat now. I better get back in there. Whoops. Still not go. Good dink. I assume I'm not going to be able to hear anybody even if they do get in there. That sucks. Play with some settings when I get off there. Sorry team. With roommates. That's alright. It's alright. I'm happy chatting to you for a little while in the chat. And yeah, Usyk can't be bought off. I don't think. I agree, man. He ain't going nowhere. He said he's going to sit and wait. I mean, he didn't even seem that fussed about fighting Chisora. So I was skeptical whether that was going to happen, but it is going to happen now. That'll be on Halloween, and it's a pretty decent fight. I'm still picking Usyk to win that. I don't know if I don't think he'll be able to spark Derek, but I wouldn't be surprised if he can make Derek quit, like he did against Fury. Hey. You don't think they'd strip him? Okay. Well, it's quite possible that they don't want to strip him because I don't think he's the cash cow at this stage, and it's been well documented he doesn't sell that well in America. So maybe they won't strip him. Maybe they'll, how do they put it? Have a convention and have the board decide whether to strip him or not. Do we want that Fury sectioning fees or not? Hannibal B in the house. Good to have you in, brother. Jab that like button. Damn right. And also the fact that they know very well that Tyson Fury wants to unify with Anthony Joshua, and with that is huge sanctioning fees they won't want to waive bye-bye to. So it's quite possible they won't strip him, but at the same time it goes against their rules. But we can't forget, at the bottom of every rule in every sanctioning body, it says something along the lines of the final decision will be made by the board of coordinators or whatever they're called. So every rule that there is subject to change depending on the situation and what the board members vote. So yeah, rules are rules, and these rules are made to be broken by the people who made them, if they feel like it. Who do you think Wilder should fight next? Yeah, we were just going through a few lists just before. I like Charles Martin isn't a bad choice, or Robert Helenius are a couple names that I like. Wilder won't take a Hunter fight. I don't think he will take a Hunter fight. That man's far too skilled for him, and he goddamn well knows it. Ruiz, possibly, but Ruiz is apparently fighting somebody that I can't remember who it is. It's not confirmed on BoxRec, but he is fighting somebody I can't remember. Oh, Chris Arreola. He's going to be fighting Arreola. Oh, Fury, hold on. Would like to see Hunter Ruiz Parker fight. Yeah. The only one who isn't busy at present out of those is Michael Hunter. Joe's got his fight on December 11th, which I will be attending. And Andy Ruiz is fighting Chris Arreola not too far down the track. It's not actually confirmed yet, so I think they're just looking for a card to put that on. I think they might have been thinking of trying to put it on the Wilder Fury 3 undercard, but see you later. That fight's gone. It's gone. And like I said at the start of the stream, no, Tyson Fury did not duck out of the third fight because the networks won't put on a fight. There is no third fight to duck out from at this stage. So why not have a fight in the meantime? You're looking forward to Chisora. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight as well with Chisora and Usyk. You know, a lot of people saying, oh, he's just a blown up cruiserweight. But you know, he's got reach and height over Derek Chisora. How's that? Don't forget, he spent a lot of time in the gym with Vladimir Klitschko. He knows how to fight these big dudes. We've seen him in the World Series of Boxing fight Junior Farr, fight Joe Joyce, beat them both. Both of those guys are inside some sanctioning bodies' top 10s at the moment. Dude knows what he's doing against big guys. Don't forget it. Belly did well to avoid a lot of Usyk's. Yeah, definitely. He did pretty well in those first few rounds, but Usyk puts on a lot of mental pressure as well. He's always in your face, and he's still reasonably hard to hit when he's right there, right in front of you. You throw a lot of punches trying to hit him, and you blow your ass out. Doesn't take long for Usyk to put his foot on the gas when he senses that mental pressure is getting to you, and close the show. I mean, he's not a hugely powerful puncher, but the way he fights, he doesn't have to be. He's an accumulative puncher. He's a mental pressure fighter, and he can kick it with the best of them. Can't think of his name. Who are we talking about here? Must have that comment. Wilder could even could he end up fighting the Polish American? Oh yeah, Adam Kalnacki. I think that's probably most likely because he's a PBC fighter, like you say there. But yeah, so is Charles Martin. It's just I think Charles Martin is more likely to chase the IBF route since he is number 2. I think he's in line to be in a final eliminator. So yeah, it is what it is. Definitely Adam Kalnacki. Usyk bigger than what people think. Yeah, exactly. As soon as they know, you know, just because he's got the tag cruiserweight doesn't mean he's that small. There are a lot of heavyweights that are smaller than him. You know how much bigger than Alan Babbage he is? Put that in perspective. Okay? I don't think Wilder's handlers want a pressure fighter like Ruiz. Yeah, I can understand that. I've often said over the years, why hasn't Wilder fought everybody in his backyard at least? I mean, there'd been ranked fighters like Andy Ruiz right there his entire career. There's a reason. How many full-on pressure fight? Well, I guess Andy Ruiz isn't a full-on pressure fighter. He walks forward on you and wants to get you to punch so he can punch with you. He's a very fast-handed fighter, and if you punch with somebody who punches faster, who's going to win? If Wilder could work on some things and possibly maintain range against Ruiz, then he could pot shot him a few times, possibly stop him. But I don't like Wilder's chances against Ruiz. I don't think he's got the skill base and the fundamentals to be able to use angles to keep Andy following him around. When Andy's down under 200, well, around 250 and under, his feet get a little bit quicker too. He can step inside pretty quickly. And once he's in that pocket and he starts throwing, if you don't get the fuck out of there, he's likely to land one of those punches. And you know how fast his hands are, how physics work. Power is speed, or speed is power. You know, so I think Andy Ruiz actually hits harder than a lot of people think, and that's basically because of his hand speed. The Fury is off the water, then Wilder should fight a tune-up. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, like I said earlier on, I think it'd be a good idea for him to fight somebody who's extremely durable, and not really that small. Somebody like, shit, who can I think of? Okay, we want a fighter that's between 6'3" and 6'7", somebody who's extremely durable but doesn't throw a hell of a lot of punches, somebody who's a bit of a counter puncher but not somebody too fast, so he can practice a lot of things that he should be trying to change with his style, and something to give him a bit of confidence too, because after getting such a hell of a hiding like that, his confidence and has got to be pretty low at the moment. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't heard from Wilder, haven't heard squat from him since he got that beating. He takes the right steps to get back, he can do so, but at the same time he can't take too long, because he's what, 34 years old? Can't take too long, that clock is ticking. And using his quote, saying this black don't crack, it will crack eventually, man. It will crack eventually, so yeah, get on with it, Mr. Wilder. Get on with it. Alright team, don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content, and I'll think about wrapping it up in a moment or two, unless something new comes to light in the chat. Couple of fights this weekend. There's a big German card on. Christian Thun, who's a prospect, unbeaten, is fighting this weekend. He's fighting a nobody, and I also saw Steenad Gashi is fighting on that same card in Germany. I'm just going to try and bring it up here. Heavyweight. I want that. I see her sometime. Where is it? Heavyweight. October. Oh, there's one in the US and Florida. Who's on this card? Mike Kyle, Mike Bissett. Okay, there's not any names that I recognize on this Florida card this weekend. Jason Fish, don't know who that is. Bobby O'Bannon, I've heard that name. Who the hell is that? Bobby O'Bannon. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I'm thinking of I don't know, a superhero movie, something Banner, David Banner. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, that's not the card. Where is it? Where is it? The German card. Germany. Can't be that one because it had like 6 flights on it. Here it is. Okay. Heading the card is Zion Kozabutski. Heard of that dude? He's 14-0, and he's taking on Steve Vukosa, who is 12-1. The co-main event is Christian Thun. He's 5-0, and he's taking on Danny Whitaker, who is 4-1-0. Prior to that, we have Sinad Gashi. Some of y'all may know who this dude is. Comes to fight, unless you hit him, then he shows up and runs away. He's 20-3. I think he fought Derek Chisora. And he's fighting Ken. Oh Jesus, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. LNJUNGO. How do you pronounce LJ? Is it Longwist? Hopefully I haven't butchered that. Who's 10-0? Ooh, Sinad Gashi fighting an unbeaten prospect. Would be interesting. And there's one other fight on that card. Joe Lardust, who is 3-0, and he's going to be fighting Ferenc Urban, who is 7-1. Now at present, it says the media is Germany ZDF. So that's the stream to try and look for if you don't have Germany ZDF available to you. But that card could be a little interesting for the heavyweights. There ain't a lot else on this weekend, but that's okay because we've got Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez this weekend. I'm really looking forward to that, and there's some decent fights on that card as well. So that's probably about it from me today. I hope you have enjoyed this bit of a blah blah stream. I'd like to hear anybody else's 2 cents about Fury dipping out of this Wilder fight. Do you think the rematch clause time frame has run out, or whether that even matters, considering the networks, both Fox and ESPN, don't seem to want to put the fight on this year? And could the fight maybe happen February, March next year anyway? Because Fury ain't going to be fighting Joshua unless Usyk steps aside or vacates. Not going to happen. So let us know. Like I say, hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good shit, and I'll catch you next time. Take it easy. I'm Jono, and I'm out. So that's it for Big Boys Boxing for today. I hope you've enjoyed.
Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you have, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so not to miss future content. If you'd like to get more involved with the channel, get on the live panel, you can jump over here on the channel and find this Discord invite icon. If you hit that, it will take you to the Discord server, and over here we have multiple ways of getting involved. Firstly, for the live panel, there's this live panel voice channel here. You simply click on it and you're in. Down the bottom here, you got your mic, unmute, and you see your green rings when you're talking, and you're away. You can mute when you're not speaking, and to get out, you hit this hang up button. Simple as. Also, we have live fight streams here. Sometimes I will stream a fight to this channel. You can come in here. You can't speak in this channel, obviously, and there will be a video box here somewhere. You just double click on it and it goes straight into what I'm streaming, and out you go. Also here we have watch BBB games. Sometimes I'll stream my Fight Night Champion games here, or Fight Night Gym. Myself and a few others who are in the Fight Night Club sometimes stream our games to this channel, so you can come and watch. You're quite welcome to. Up here we have general chat. This is where we all talk about boxing with what's going on. Everybody's welcome there. We have live fight links here. If I have a link to a fight, I generally drop the links here within 24 hours once I find the link, so you can come and find links here. Fight replays as well. As you can see, I drop YouTube links here if I have them. This one's for the Serenko fight that happened over the weekend, and also I recorded the Fabio Woodley fight, so you can come and click this and you can watch that there as well. There's also the Fight Night chat here, but that's for guys who are interested in playing Fight Night Champion and talking about strategies, how to build fighters, all that sort of thing. But it's easy to get involved, so all you have to do is get over to the to the Big Boys Boxing homepage and this Discord icon here. Also there's links here for Twitter and Facebook. I don't drop a lot, but news channels, news stories that I don't cover, sometimes I drop the links there, and also a donation link here for anybody who'd like to support the channel. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed, and I shall catch you next time. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. So